Is Elven Farsight from Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth the sleeper card that Woodland Spy has been waiting for in Pauper? In this video, we're going to find out. Before we begin, I would like to thank Charles Garzon, hopefully I didn't butcher that too badly, for today's donation deck. Charles wanted to see Woodland Spy back here on the channel. I mean, people seem to love the Cyclestorm video that I went 5-0 with, that I recently played getting back into Pauper post-Monastery Swiftspear ban. You can find that video on the card above. But today we're playing, one of my favorite Pauper decks, Woodland Spy. I mean, Cyclestorm's just the best, but Woodland Spy is up there. And the tech today is Elven Farsight. So this card is scry 3 and then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you draw a card. Well, our deck is 28 creature cards, so we have a lot of them, but we're looking for one in particular, and that card is Balustrade Spy. The entire card, or the card that this deck is built around. So the idea is that we have one Haunted Mire that you can find using Land Grant or Generous Ent, and then you play Balustrade Spy or Destroy the Evidence, and then you mill your entire library because we only have the one land. From there, you unearth Dregscape Zombie and flashback a Dread Return on the Lotleth Giant. Your opponent will lose roughly 24 to 25 life, which is sweet. And that's pretty much the entire game plan. Elven Farsight is a consistency card in this deck list, and this deck list needed some consistency, so I'm pretty excited to try this card today. Additionally, Charles wanted to try out Conjurer's Bauble in the sideboard as a way to add more resiliency to people trying to interact after you've milled your own deck. So we're going to try this out today. I'm not as convinced on this one, but I'm always open to being wrong. So that's the deck. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, suggestions, whatever, put those down below. I always do my best to get back to you. But for now, let's just hop on into the first match. I'll see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Match number 1, we're on the play. And I noticed that I accidentally had Legacy League. We are playing Pauper today, so I've corrected that. It should say Pauper League down below. And up above, we have Moxfield. You can see today's deck list by clicking in the description and visiting our Moxfield link. So here we have no way to search out that land. We need to mulligan. This seems very good. Okay, so we're going to keep this. And we'll bottom the Wild Cantor. Click done. All right, our opponent has kept 7. We will begin the game by casting a Land Grant and playing Haunted Mire, pass the turn. All right, it looks like Affinity. So one thing that I've been wondering about this deck, and I've actually been working on it behind the scenes, and one thing that I've been just really focusing on is this still a good Songs of the Dam deck? And that's a question that I'm hoping to answer in this video today. Is this a win? I think that this is a turn 2. So I can play Tinderwalt, play Wild Cantor, Rite of Flame. So that's 7 cards, Cabal Ritual. Yeah, I believe that this is just a win. So we will sacrifice the Tinderwalt to play Rite of Flame, play Wild Cantor, Lotus Petal, sacrifice the Petal for a black, sacrifice the Wild Cantor for a black. Now we cast Cabal Ritual for Threshold. And now Balustrade Spy. We target ourselves. And basically, going back to my Songs of the Dam point, is this still a good Songs of the Dam deck? Like previously, before the downshift of Dread Return, you had to have Songs of the Damned. And the deck doesn't use Songs of the Damned to win anymore. So now it's a conditional ritual that is only good when you have creatures in your graveyard. And that usually means that you're taking up time, because you have to spend time getting those creatures to your graveyard, unless they're like exactly Street Wraith. Like this game, we actually had 4 creatures in our graveyard pretty quickly, but that's not the norm. I'm going to target our Lotleth Giant. We'll sacrifice these 3 zombies. That's a turn 2 win, game 1. I love it. I love it so much. No Elven Farsight, but I do love wins, so we'll take it. Alright, so we probably want this Wooded Ridgeline and then the Ingot Chewers. I do like the Elven Farsight digs for Ingot Chewer. I think that's really, really nice. Alright, so I do like boarding up to 2 lands when I'm bringing in the Ingot Chewers. Charles actually submitted a deck list with Troll of Khazad-dûm, but Troll doesn't search out the Wooded Ridgeline, so he swapped it for the Generous Ent. 65 cards. That's a lot. Maybe we can board out Street Wraith since it's just a speed card, and we're slowing down just a hair. And then I need 2 more cuts. Let's try boarding out 2 copies of Songs of the Damned, especially when we're boarding out the Street Wraiths. Okay, so we have the land grant, and then we have Elven Farsight to dig for our Balustrade Spy. I will keep. Great Furnace, Ornithopter, Relic. Okay, so we need to draw an Ingot Chewer now. Generous Ent. So that's actually a fine draw because we're now playing 2 lands in our deck, so we had to search out the other one anyway, so that actually ended up being just fine. They used the Relic to exile our land grant. They have a Frogmite and another Frogmite. Then they pass the turn. We draw the Ingot Chewer. We will cycle the Generous Ent, grab our Haunted Mire, play it, and pass. So we've searched out both of our lands. Now we're just looking for the Balustrade Spy or one of the 2 copies of Destroy the Evidence. Mere Enforcer. Yep. So they're attacking for 4. I go to 16. They have 2 cards left in their hand. We draw a Lotus Petal. I'll start by evoking the Ingot Chewer. And you want to stack this so that way it destroys, then it goes to the graveyard. So that way you keep the Ingot Chewer in your graveyard. And then we'll play the Elven Farsight. We definitely don't want the Dread Return. I don't want the Generous Ent, and I don't want another Elven Farsight. So this is our first time casting it. Yes. We found a Dregscape Zombie. So we dug 4 cards deep, but it was not good enough. They're going to attack for 8, and I will go to 8. They have 4 cards in their hand. They just passed the turn. We draw another Ingot Chewer. So I can hardcast the Ingot Chewer to buy time here. So we can play a pair of Rite of Flames, and then Ingot Chewer, and we'll kill the Mere Enforcer. And now we have a 3/3 that blocks Frogmite. And they have to pass. I love it. Springleaf Drum. They play Thoughtcast. Alright, they have 4 cards in their hand. We draw a Simian Spirit Guy that doesn't help. We'll play a Dregscape Zombie. I think we just passed the turn. There's no point in attacking. All that glitters on Ornithopter that's going to kill me here. Unfortunate. Alright, so we lost this game. I could not find my Spy. That is one of the downsides of playing less than 4 copies of Destroy the Evidence, because Destroy the Evidence is just your backup spies. I think I'm actually going to board back into Street Wraith and just take out the songs altogether. I like Street Wraith as like at least a break even on like Elven Farsight. So maybe we just want those there. Let's try this. On the play for game 3. So this hand just needs to find... I mean, I'm going to keep this. Like, you only have 8 ways to search out your creature, so mulliganing a hand away that can do it seems kind of foolish. Let's grab Haunted Mire. We'll play the Mire. We do have to find another way to search out the other land. Admittedly, I did forget. I'm not going to lie to you. Seeing the second land in there, I was like, oh yeah, I do have to search out the other land too. So they have a Relic start, which isn't good for me. So we need to find both Ingot Chewer, the Spy, and a way to search out the second land. We draw a Zombie, which is pretty bad. We'll play Tinderwall. Pass the turn. Land number 2, and a Frogmite. Lotus Petal, we have to pass. Yeah, I wonder if you're just not supposed to play 2 lands anymore. I mean, I'm going to block. They have a Glint Hawk. They pick up their Frogmite. They get to replay it for free. Another Glint Hawk. Frog goes up. Frog goes down. Sure. Rotting Rats. I'm just going to play the Lotus Petal here, and then we're forced to pass the turn. This is not looking good for the home team. They attack. I will block the Frog and take 4 down to 16. Another Glint Hawk. They pick up the Frogmite and then put it back down. Yeah, we're just not drawing well either. We'll exile a Spirit Guide and play a Dregscape Zombie, I guess. Yeah, I think moving forward this league, I'm just not going to have 2 lands in my deck ever again. I feel like it's just, like, not the move. I go to 10 life. They have 2 cards left in their hand. We'll go to 8 life. They relic me. So we finally found the spy. The problem is that I would need the other land and I need the relic to be gone. So I don't think we're going to be able to live through this. I would need to draw 2 cards next turn. And our deck with no way to change the texture of our hand. We don't have any brainstorms, no faithless lootings, nothing like that. Ginger Brute. They attack. We will block. So we're going to go to 2 life here. So we're dead to a Galvanic Blast. I mean, I also am just dead on board because I can't win this game. We draw another Simian Spirit Guide. Okay, well, we got to see a little bit of the high variance of this deck in the first round. We got a turn 2 win, which was sweet. And then we kind of floundered out in the post-board games, and our opponent had Relic twice. So, womp womp, 0-1. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Alright, so we're in match number 2. We're on the draw, and we have 3 ways of searching out our only land. Also, we don't want this Rotting Rat, so this hand is essentially a mulligan to 4. Let's just take a London mulligan. Alright, so we have Spy, we have Destroyed the Evidence, we have a way to search out the land, but we have no initial mana source. You're supposed to go to 5. This hand is actually very good. Bottom, the Dregscape Zombie, and a Wild Cantor. Great Furnace again, and then they pass. Dark Ritual was an amazing draw. Our land grant finally resolves. We will grab Haunted Mire, play it, and pass the turn. Another Great Furnace into Burning Tree Emissary. Kessig Flame Breather. Okay, so they're on a spell-based version of red. Simian Spirit Guide. Let's cycle the Straight Wraith. We're pretty close to being able to win here. Another Spy. Okay, so we have 3, 4, 5. We're 1 mana short. So I will play out the Wild Cantor and pass the turn. Hopefully we get another turn here. We have a 3rd copy of Great Furnace. Lightning Bolt. On my Wild Cantor, no! Then we're going to take some damage. They have 3 cards remaining in their hand. We find Generous Ent. I do not have another land to get here. We'll just pass. We'll Darren Epicure. They use the blood token immediately, discarding a basic mountain. They play another mountain. They have 2 cards left in their hand. They swing for 3. We'll go to 10. I'm running out of time here. The Galvanic Blast, that deals me 5. And then another Galvanic Blast that's lethal. Brutal. We had 2 draws to hit, and we missed on both of them. Punished. Okay, so let's try bringing in the Ridgeline and the Ingot Chewers. We'll board out Street Wraith versus the red deck. We'll take out the Haunted Mire this time. And then 1 copy of Songs of the Damned. Game number 2 on the play. Bummer. We have to mulligan this. Okay, this hand has potential if Elven Farsight can find our Spy or one of the Destroy the Evidence. As I mentioned, we're going to keep this and then bottom the land grant. Okay, we will play the land grant. I think I just realized something. The dual land in our deck makes red-green, and we have triple Dark Ritual. So this is not just me finding Spy, it's also finding a way to convert to black mana. We'll pick up our Wooded Ridgeline, play it, and pass the turn. Okay, no Relic. That's a first. We found our Spy, so now we just need a black mana here. Elven Farsight. None of these convert into black mana. We're going to bottom all of them. Okay. Elven Farsight. And it's a Tinderwall. They have land number 2. It's another Burning Tree Emissary. Burning Tree Emissary. Ren's Resolve. Okay. Land Grant. Once again, we only have the 1 land in our deck. I feel like I'm not catching a break this league. They play the Burning Tree Emissary. Synthesizer. Reveals Mountain. Now they attack for 4. I'll go to 16. Lotus Petal off the top and we win. Just a Cabal Ritual. I probably should have played out this Tinderwall last turn, but I was so defeated about not drawing a black sword. So I took 2 extra damage for no reason. Or did I? Okay, I guess it didn't matter. Still, I should have played it out a turn earlier. They play a Goblin Tomb Raider, so now they have 8 damage coming in. I'm on my final draw step. You have double Gelfbat? They do? No! Let's draw the top card. It was a Simian Spirit Guide. So here, we saw the fact that we're playing Ingot Chewer cost us essentially the match. Alright, so I was going to save this till the end. If you watch the rest of this video, I'm going to show you my latest deck list at the end. I'm no longer playing Ingot Chewer, fun fact. But for now, you got to stick around and watch the next few rounds, or maybe skip ahead, but I'd appreciate it if you watch the round. But anyway, match number 3 coming right up. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Match 3, can we get a win? We'll find out. I'm on the draw and I'm going to keep this. So we can burn a Lotus Petal to search out our land using the Generous Ent. Having the Dregscape Zombie means that this hand was essentially a mulligan already. Maybe even a mulligan to 5 having to burn the Lotus Petal, but we're going to make do. I do need to draw my Spy effect. We'll play out the Lotus Petal. Cycle the Generous Ent, go grab our Haunted Mire, play the Mire, and pass the turn. Darkseal Citadel. So this is a case that next turn, if we wanted it to, Songs of the Damned could make 3 mana, but I'd have to throw away the Wild Cantor. Draw another Songs of the Damned. I will cycle Street Wraith. I go to 18. Rotting Rats. I'll be honest, part of me wonders, like, is this card actually good? Like, is the dead draw worth the ability to unearth and discard Dread Return or the Lotleth Giant? Because I don't feel like that happens super often, and I feel like I draw this card non-stop. Non-stop. They play a 3rd land. So I do have to be worried about Metallic Rebuke. We'll cycle Street Wraith. I go to 16. Another Land Grant. We'll just pass the turn. They find Ancient Den. So if they have an All That Glitters, gonna hurt. They do. Interesting, they tap their blue source, so now I don't have to respect a counterspell if I were to draw my Spy. We'll take 7. Ouch. Draw? No such luck. I guess we'll play out Lotus Petal. We'll pass the turn. No blocks, I'll go to 2. Draw for a turn. Womp womp. So 25% of our deck did not find one of our Spy effects. That said, this list only has 6 of them, so it's not a guarantee. Okay, so we'll try swapping the lands again. Ingot Chewers. Get rid of the Songs of the Damned. Send it back. Game number 2 on the play. This hand is good. Keep. Off to the races. Play Land Grant. Grab the Ridgeline. We'll play it. Pass the turn. Ancient Den into Thraben Inspector. Okay. So we have 3 mana, 4 mana, 5 mana. I need 6. So we'll just play the Tinderwall and pass the turn. Next turn we'll be able to try. They play a Seat, and they just pass. Well, if they're going to just pass with mana open, I'm going to play Wild Cantor. I can't beat a Metallic Rebuke right now, so let's just, play a little bit more cautiously. Darkseal Citadel, Frogmite, All That Glitters. So we'll take 7. They're still holding up Metallic Rebuke here. Rotting Rats. I think we just have to play another Wild Cantor. Pass. They play an Ornithopter, Mere Enforcer. 3 cards remain. They attack for 11. I'll take it. No blocks. I go to 2. Now or never. Another Tinderwall. So that makes 1 mana. Play out the Lotus Petal. Dark Ritual. Sacrifice Tinderwall. Play the Spy. Target myself. And now we Dread Return on the Giant. Sacrifice these 3 creatures. I still have Tinderwall to pay for the Deadly Dispute, or whatever dispute it is. Metallic Dispute? Metallic Rebuke. There we go. Alright. And I will pay the Giant. Okay. Next game. Yeah, this hand's very good. We do have to find a black mana, though. Once again, this is the problem with boarding in Ingot Chewer, is we have 1 land in our deck, and it makes red mana right now. So I need to find a Wild Cantor, or a Lotus Petal, or 1 Ornithopter, and Springleaf Drum. And a Frogmite, very good start. They have 2 cards left in their hand. We found the Wild Cantor, perfect. We will exile Simine Spirit Guide, cycle the Generous Ent, play the Wooded Ridgeline, and pass the turn. So I am 1 mana short next turn of a win. They play Thoughtcast, Thraben Inspector. Okay, the Frog gets in and we go to 18. Come on, mana. Mana, 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 mana. Yes. Okay, so exile the Spirit Guide. We'll play Wild Cantor. Dark Ritual, Spy, target myself. So there's no reason to cycle the Street Wraith, because if you do, you could possibly draw Dread Return or the Lotleth Giant, and that would be very bad for you. So don't do that. Dread Return, and now we get the Lotleth Giant, and, you know, we just got our first match win. Boom. Love it. Alright, so we are now officially 1-2, clawing our way back up to the top, and I'll see you in the 4th match. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Match number 4, we're on the draw. This hand seems quite good. We will keep Colony Garden. Okay, so we're facing the Golgari Depths deck. I'm sorry, Golgari Depths. Golgari Gardens deck. Legacy on the brain. Grab the Haunted Mire. We'll play it. Pass the turn. And now they just pass. We'll draw. So we can go Wild Cantor, Rite of Flame, Wild Cantor, Cabal Ritual. That's only 5 cards. I think I'm actually just going to discard here. Discard the zombie. On their end step, I can cycle the Generous Ent just to get cards in the graveyard. Perfect. So now they've tapped out. So, like, we don't even have to worry about anything anymore. This should just be a pretty easy win. Okay. Play the Wild Cantor. Sacrifice the Wild Cantor for a red. Rite of Flame. And now we will play the Wild Cantor. Make black this time. We now have Threshold, Cabal Ritual. We'll play the Spy. Target myself. Oh no, I've accidentally milled my entire library. That's so unfortunate. I guess we'll bring back this Dregscape Zombie. And this one. Dread Return on Lotleth Giant, wherever you may be. Really though, where's the Giant? There it is. Sweet. And another one bites the dust. So this is a slower matchup. I'm thinking that maybe here we do want both lands. A lot of lists have like 3 relics in the board. Get rid of the Songs of the Damned. Maybe 1 Street Wraith. This hand is quite good. Keep. Duress. They're going to take my Destroy the Evidence here. Or at least they should. And they do. We draw for the turn and it's a Dread Return. Womp womp. Stinky. They get to see my shame. We'll grab the Wooded Ridgeline, we'll play it, and then we'll Land Grant again. Go grab the Haunted Mire. Pass. They play a Colony Garden and Nile Spellbomb. Let's evoke the Ingot Chewer. I don't know why you'd play this out now. I feel like they could have waited on this. So that way they would have at least got to have drawn a card. Play Haunted Mire and send the turn back. They play Lembas. Lembas. I don't know, I'm just being ridiculous. We need to draw a Spy effect. Ask and you shall receive. Okay, so I need more mana in order to win. So we have to pass for now. Because I need to be able to get 3 creatures and one of them needs to be Rotting Rats. They play Fanatical Offering. Okay. And step will cycle the Generous Ent. It's just another card in the graveyard for Cabal Ritual at this point. I guess we'll play a Dregscape Zombie. That reduces the amount of mana we need to win. Another Fanatical Offering. They play Colony Garden. Thorn of the Black Rose. So this would be a very good turn for me to try to win. Because I have to draw mana, I think, but there's no instant speed removal to worry about. Ah, we missed. So, Cabal Ritual's 4. This is 5. I need the Rotting Rats, and we're a mana short. Such a disappointment. I will kill their map token. Pass the turn. So I could block here, and it would get me a little bit closer to Threshold. Maybe that's the right move? I'm not sure. Like, having the creature in play is very good, but I think it's much easier to win if I just hit the Threshold requirement. Tinderwall. So, Tinderwall would be the 5th card, Cabal Ritual. I'm still short. I mean, I could just try to play the Tinderwall. If it lives a full turn cycle, that would work. I don't know if they left in removal. I mean, I'm sure they did. Their entire deck is removal. Yep. Avenging Hunter. They pick up a basic swamp. No! Ah, that hurts. I think I might have needed double Cabal Ritual to win this game. Come on, take the Dread Return. Why not? What could possibly go wrong if you decide to take Dread Return? I can't think of anything. Nothing at all. Oh no, they made the correct choice. So Dark Ritual wins. Bright of Flame might. See it? Tinderwall, that might do it as well. So we'll play the wall. Sacrifice it. Exile Simian Spirit Guide. Cabal Ritual Threshold. We will spy myself. Yeah, if they have any removal here, I lose. Rotting Rats. I mean, I'm dead here to another Defile. There's 3 more of them in their deck. Dregscape Zombie. If this happens, we win. Looks like they have another Defile. Sure. Okay, we lose. We were just constantly pinched on mana that game. Try it again. On the play for game number 3. Sure. Opening up lands? I didn't know that we were allowed to do so. Our opponent takes a mulligan. We'll play the Haunted Mire, pass the turn. So we do need another way to search out the other land in our deck, and then we need a spy. I mean, Spirit Guide. Sorry about my phone. We'll play an Elven Farsight. This is everything we wanted. Bottom the Cabal Ritual, we'll put Spy on top, and then Generous Ent on top of that. So we're going to reveal the Generous Ent to our opponent. And pass the turn. We don't need them knowing that we have a spy on top of our deck. They play Tithing Blade. Sure. We'll now cycle the Generous Ent. Pick up the Wooded Ridgeline. And we have a win next turn. They Deadly Dispute away the Tithing Blade. Alright, this might be me being overly cautious. I feel like we should be trying to play around like Weather the Storm or something if our opponent's holding open 2 mana. So I'm going to just play the Dregscape Zombie this turn and just kind of look for a window. They have 5 mana. Alright, well this is a perfect opportunity to try to win here. No Weather the Storm, all they could have is like a Defile. We can beat Defile here. Exile the Spirit Guide. Let's play a Tinderwall. Dark Ritual. Wild Cantor. Wild Cantor. I can't cast it that way, huh? Fine, I'll sacrifice my Lotus Petal. Sacrifice the Wild Cantor because I can. Spy. I already have 3 creatures on the battlefield for Dread Return. Spy happens, we'll target ourselves. And now we will Dread Return on the Lotleth Giant. Alright, so we've clawed back. We were 0-2. Now we're 2-2. Can we finish this with a positive record? Stick around and find out in match number 5. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. The fifth and final match. For the positive record, this hand doesn't do anything, we'll send it back. This hand does do things. So would you rather have a dead Generous Ent or a Dregscape Zombie? I would rather have the Generous Ent for 2 reasons. 1, Cabal Ritual Threshold. 2, Songs of the Damned. Our first blue matchup of the league. We will reveal our hand and pray not to get hit by Spell Pierce. We don't. Play the Haunted Mire and pass the turn. They play an Augur of Boros. Balustrade Spy off the top rope. Let's see it. They find Lorien revealed. Singleton Spirit Guide. Come on, Spy. Cycle. There we go. Should I Elven Farsight first? I don't think so. Cycle this Tree Wraith. Oh, that's got to do it, right? 5 mana? 6 mana is enough to win. Here we go. Dark Ritual. Target me. So the nice thing here is that Songs of the Damned makes him infinite mana after you've already won the game. But like, we don't need 25 black mana at all. And our opponent concedes. We have won game number 1. Disrespect me tapping out for an Augur of Boros? Not up in here. Alright, so now we'll bring in Pyroblast. And then the Conjurer's Baubles. Those are cards that Charles really wanted to see in these style matchups. So we'll bring those in. Unfortunately, I do think you're probably supposed to take out the Elven Farsight in this matchup. That leaves us at 64, and then board out the Songs of the Damned. This looks pretty good to me. Submit. Yeah. Our opponent just snap conceded. Let's go! Positive record, baby. Alright, so what did I think of the list? I think that anything less than 8 spies is just asking for trouble. We really struggled to find a spy effect in one of the matches and lost because of it. I also think that 8 ways to search out land is just a little bit light. So Elven Farsight also, it was okay. I'm not trying to say that it was bad. It was fine, but I think there's better cards that exist. So Charles, I think that you were pretty close, but I am now going to share what I've been working on. And it is this. So I've been putting a lot of thought into this deck list. I did make a change in between match 4 and 5. I said that I was no longer playing Ingot Chewer. I had a sideboard that was only 12 cards. It was 4 copies of Natural State, 4 Pyroblast, 3 Haunting Misery, and a Flaring Pain. And I was like, I don't know what to do here. These other 3 slots, like, playing a Fairy Macabre is like a wasted sideboard slot in my opinion, and I don't think the Conjurer's Baubles actually offer you that much. So I was like, well, I could add in the Wooded Ridgeline and the Ingot Chewers because I am playing Abundant Harvest. So I have 12 ways to search out land: Abundant Harvest, Land Grant, and Generous Ent. And if you, unlike playing Troll of Khazad-dûm, Abundant Harvest, once you have your lands, can cycle to help find your Balustrade Spy or destroy the evidence or whatever. So this card guarantees finds you a land. And at worst, it cycles for a green mana, which I think is just fine. And then I'm playing 4 copies of Faithless Looting, because in the games where you get stuck with Dread Return or a Lotleth Giant, you have a way of, getting rid of them. You can't do it after you've already comboed, but having 4 of them means that you should be able to find them. They also help with consistency, unlike Rotting Rats, where when you draw Rotting Rats, you're just like, why am I playing this card? Faithless Looting actually helps you win the game. It digs for spot, and it will discard multiple copies of Destroy the Evidence if those get stuck in your hand. Faithless Looting also fills the graveyard for Cabal Ritual, which helps make up for the lack of Songs of the Damned. And you can cast it off of Rite of Flame or Singleton Spirit Guide, gets rid of extra copies of Land Grant or Generous Ent. I think Faithless Looting is just the card we've been wanting to play, but we couldn't figure out how to make it work until now. So I am playing 8 extra consistency cards between Faithless Looting and Abundant Harvest, trying to clear up those inconsistency issues that we saw in the video today. So that is what I'm doing. It comes at the cost of creature slots. I'm playing 26 creatures. Charles' list had 28. So I am willing to lose a couple more games in the middle where our opponent gains a bunch of life. Like, I'm going to say, okay, you got me. but I think that this is a more consistent deck, and that's ultimately what I'm looking for. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think due to the amount of graveyard hate in the format, I don't mind boarding up to 6 ways to destroy Relic of Progenitus or Nihil Spellbombs, whatever. I have seen some lists that have Duress in the sideboard. I'm just not sure how you board in Duress and Pyroblast versus the blue decks. Like, you don't have enough cards to board out. So that is a concern of mine. But if you know, tell me, and then I'll add Duress to my sideboard. Because I think Duress could be pretty good. But that's what I've got for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And thanks for watching. Have a great day and keep storming. Hey you, yeah you, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're interested, you can visit theepicstorm.com/donation-decks to see your combo deck here on this very YouTube channel. You can even join me in a video in the Epic tier. It's totally worth it, I promise. And see ya. Thanks for watching.